Hi everybody, today we're going to discuss the link between market and the alchemy lab. Now, why is this important? I'll explain to you. It has to do with fragments for immortals and the tower of knowledge for your skills. Now, as you can see here, you have your market orders, which you get by doing dailies, for example, or events and all of that. And you have your daily refreshing attempts. As you can see, you've used quite a bit. Now, you see these purple crystals. We call them soul crystals or purple crystals, whatever you want. And some sell for premium currency called gems. You do not buy these unless your march has one of the few that are only appearing in currency of gems. That's, for example, Attila, Alexander, Saladin. These only appear in that kind of currency. All the rest will appear mostly with soul crystals. There are exceptions. Each season gives new immortals, and not all immortals are equal, and they will not all drop in the market. There's a way to see this. I'll show you in a moment. That said, why do you want to do this? Well, I always take, definitely at the starting account, I do my rotation. I buy all the ones that I can for the soul crystals. Why? Well, let's buy a few. Let's say this one. Costs 100, right? 5 for 100. Let's do this. This is important too. I'll explain this in a moment. We have 5 for 100. 5 for 100. It's 1 to 1. I can recycle this 1 to 1, which means I buy 5 for 100, I sell 5 for 100. There is never a loss, so you can do this as many times as you need. Now, what you want to do is you want to lock the ones that you need for your march. Let's say this is my march now. This is by no means march advice. Go check Nick, Hades, Kincaid, Persephone, or the Mitrak wiki for the choices that you need for your marches. I'll make videos later on this as well. I'm not there yet. We're going to do little baby steps right now. Find your march. Lock in on your first march. Only focus on your first march. Definitely if you're not a very big spender, because you're not going to be able to do it. You won't have the gold. You won't have the specialization items to do so. You build your first march. You lock it in, whatever you need. And then you recycle all the rest that you don't need. Now, for the epic immortals, the orange ones, you're gonna have to know specific knowledge which ones you'll never use and which ones you'll potentially use. Now, for example, usually there's 4 marches that you can build. Your main will be either Earthwind or Quintfire 99% of the time, or water, or something like that. The second one will be then fire, water, and for example lightning. Then you know kind of which immortals you need, and these you definitely keep locked. Now, if you say there's an immortal I really know that we don't need to use or can't use, for example, we can't use this one. Okay, no problem. We'll recycle it. We'll reuse that currency, that soul crystal, for the next chapter. Now, why is this cool to do the market? Is it gives you this little mission, repeated mission. It gives you Lord XP, and that makes you level up faster. It's not a whole lot, because you're about 40,000, well, in this case 40,000 gold, now 50,000 gold, 250 Lord XP, and it scales with you in level, which means if you run this every day, you get a little bit of extra XP to go closer to level 30 to unlock that 4th march. As a little tip. Now, why would, let's say that we've done these market orders missions so far where it doesn't really pop anymore. Well, then you just refresh and find the ones that you need. For example, I don't like Osaka. Let's say this is of course paid, but let's say we need this one. That's it. We proceed. Why is this important? Well, for 2 reasons. You want to upgrade your immortals. You need fragments, and then to unlock it, your artifact slot, you need 120 on top. Now, if this wasn't bad enough, you have specialization. Take the right one, because resetting costs you 20% of everything. You lose 20% on it. You take the right one, it costs gems to reset as well. So you take this, and as you see, there's a lot to see here. So let's take the big skill. Down the road, fully below, it costs 400 fragments for the last upgrade. Now in total, including the small ones, these small ones, you will need 1950 fragments on top of the 1020 or so that you need to upgrade your immortal. So it's about a good number of 3000 that you'll need per immortal, epic immortal. Purple ones don't have specialization. So this is a huge problem, because that's a lot of fragments. On top of that, the reason why the cycle is important is skills skills start at the purple skills, the elite skills start at 8,000. The epic ones start at 20,000. And on top of that, this is a problem, is the epic ones stop at 72,000 for the last upgrade, and the elite ones stop at I think it's 56,000 or something like that. Yeah, 56,000. That's a huge amount of like soul crystals you'll need about 1.5 million or something like that to do a full march. Now, there are seasonal events that become available, and once your server has a certain age, so to speak, I think it's what is it, 50 days, it might be less, then you can enter these seasonal events. That's once a month. They'll give you a really huge amount of like soul crystals, so don't panic on that. But the cycle at the start is very important to get your first skill set up, 1 level, 2 level, 3 level, get the fragments to upgrade your mortals, and that's going to give you the power boost to go to the next level of that, and that's going to help you out. Now, this is a little guide on that. Very simplistic, very straightforward, hopefully. And people often don't notice how to approach this. So don't be scared to recycle. You don't really have a loss. There's 2 types you should never recycle, which is Shadow Immortals and Chaos Immortals. Well, what is Chaos? What is Shadow? How do I recognize it? Well, it's fairly simple. The Chaos ones look like this. Very, very special color. You'll know. They'll look like this. Now, the Shadows are recognizable by their appearance, and you will have to check them out. But honestly, you have, well, Secret isn't that good, but like Tutankhamun are mostly important. Bjorn, Himiko. You could use Battery in certain marches if you like. You have Tamris, although I don't like her very much. She's weak. You have Bjorn here, stuff like that. These ones are the ones you don't want to recycle. Now, outside of these, you can't really do a lot of damage to yourself if you recycle them, except the ones that you need in your main march. Later on, you can get them back by doing the market, doing other events that drop fragments, the harbor that drops your random fragments, so on and forth. Your harbor skills, which you will give you up to chaos included fragments. As you can see, I probably am not that far in this account yet. And of course, like you can get these ones. That's an example of it. And down the road, you get like Shadow and Holy and Chaos, so don't worry about that. A little bit of a guide on how to do this. I hope this helps you. If it brought any knowledge to you didn't have, let me know in the comments. If you like these videos, I would say subscribe and like, so I know you all like it, and we'll follow up on that. Now, I will post all the names I mentioned of the YouTubers and Mitrax Wiki in the description below, so you can check them out to get the marches that you need until my videos are out, which will be practically the same knowledge because it's the same pool, it's the same meta. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope see you next time. Bye.